Hey everybody, today we are going to talk about what's generally going on in the financial markets from crypto to the global economy. As usual, we're going to start with the cryptocurrency market. As you can see, Bitcoin is ranging at around $20,000. Ethereum still holding strong at around that 1300 level. It's up over 2% over the last 7 days. Bitcoin is actually up almost 3.75% over the last 7 days. So crypto is still in that 900 billion, nearing 1 trillion market cap for the overall cryptocurrency space. Bitcoin is also still heavily weighted at approximately 40% of the entire crypto market, and Ethereum hanging in at number two at 17.3% of the entire market. So we'll continue to keep an update on what's going on in the crypto markets generally. But as we've seen over the last several months and really over the past year, that crypto is kind of moving alongside the equities markets in terms of how much it's been dipping and how it's kind of been ranging over the last several months, as we still have a lot of uncertainty with regards to what the Federal Reserve is going to do if they continue to stay hawkish by raising the interest rates. Speaking of the Federal Reserve and hiking of interest rates, we can see that today the national average for 30-year fixed mortgages is as high as 6.82%. There's been reports of it being above 7% over the last several weeks, so it's actually come down just a little bit over the last week or two. But as you can see, we're still climbing up close to that 7% range, which is the highest rate that we've seen in a couple of decades. So we are seeing the effects of the Federal Reserve, raising the interest rates and how that's affecting the housing market. And many believe that this is going to be a slumping housing market over the next year or two due to these higher interest rates, because it's going to cost more to borrow money in order to own a home in commercial properties and things of that nature. Now, as we look at the US dollar compared to the global economic landscape, the US dollar is at its highest it's ever been against the euro in the last 5 years. As we can see, $1 is equal to just over €1. Back in 2020, it was as low as 0.82 euro. So now we're seeing that the world is putting most of their funds into the US dollar, finding that that's the global reserve currency and that's the best value that they can hold right now, as we see other currencies in the world now going down against the US dollar because of the fact that there's a lot of uncertainty, not only in the United States, but in other countries, because there's high inflation all over the world. And so people are trying to seek a haven in the US dollar. We also see the same happening with the British pound, which has always been very strong against the US dollar. But as we can see, it's the highest that it has been also in the last 5 years, as $1 now equals zero point 0.9 British pound. So we need to have an understanding as we are looking and learning about investing. We need to also understand not only our own domestic economic landscape, but we also need to understand the global economic landscape, because we do international trade. And so what happens in China, what happens in Russia, what happens in Europe affects people in America, as well as those in South America and Africa and some of the other major countries and continents, because we're all doing global trade. So if one national currency is now going down or has high inflation, it can affect trade costs and things of that nature. And then in turn, it's going to affect the global economy and the global stocks and national stocks as well. So we're seeing what's happening with gold, with cryptocurrency, with other commodities, as well as equities. All of this is related and connected and tethered. So we need to make sure that we have an overall understanding of what's happening in the global economic market as we make our investment decisions for the future. Despite all of this, we are seeing that institutions are still showing interest in the cryptocurrency market. That's why we believe the cryptocurrency market is one of the best opportunities of our lifetime, because right now we're still at a low and we're still very new. It's still a very nascent market. Bitcoin has only been around for 13 years, but we're starting to see more institutions take cryptocurrency seriously, one of them being Fidelity. Fidelity, one of the largest financial managers in the world, and they have they have trillions of dollars of assets under management, and they recently unveiled a new Ethereum index fund. So what's interesting about this is not only is Fidelity going to be partnering up with Charles Schwab, amongst others, to create a cryptocurrency trading platform, which is expected to launch later this year in 2023, but they're also looking to have this benchmark fund called FIDETHP. And it's going to be constructed using Ethereum price feeds from approved exchanges and reflects the performance of the cryptocurrency in US dollars. And the reason why Ethereum is so important is because it is the top cryptocurrency with regards to a smart contract platform. They just completed the merge, as we talked about in another video, where they've gone from proof of work to proof of stake. So now they are much more environmentally friendly because you don't have to use the computing power that you needed for proof of work. So that makes it very attractive. And because of the fact that NFT market is doing so well on top of Ethereum and other smart contracts are being built on top of Ethereum, including the whole decentralized finance space. It is becoming more and more attractive to not only retail investors, but financial financial firms that are covering and making sure that they're investing for their larger retail and institutional clients. So we shall, continue to keep an eye out to see how many more firms, especially these larger investment banks, that are getting into cryptocurrency. And as you see, all of this is happening during a bear market. So if you want to follow the so-called smart money, which is the, accredited investors and the institutional investors, they're getting in while the market is low. It's all about sell high, buy low. And it looks like they are buying low and creating these opportunities for their higher net worth clients to get into crypto investments while it's low in this bear market. Quickly, we're going to go through the NFT market. As we can see here, the NFT sales topped over 947 million over the past month of September. Solana, another smart contract platform, which is doing quite well over the past couple of years since it's been out, even though it has had several outages. So there is definitely some issues that are still occurring with the Solana blockchain, but it's gaining momentum against Ethereum, particularly in the NFT marketplace. So we're starting to see that people are looking outside of Ethereum, looking at Solana, looking at Tezos, looking at Avalanche, and some of the other smart contract platforms to buy and sell and trade NFTs. We talked about music NFTs last week. Algorand is a smart contract platform that some of the larger music NFT platforms are looking to build on top of. So we'll be curious to see where the NFT market goes, but we're still down, as you can see, roughly 82% as a whole from the January highs in NFT sales, but NFT sales are still happening. It's not like it's off the radar completely. So we're seeing that Ethereum and Solana are continuing to gain steam over this past year. We're going to go to Dap Radar just to see some of the top sales. CryptoPunks have had a number of top sales recently. They've had quite a few seven-figure sales over the past couple of months. And overall, as we can see with the marketplaces, OpenSea is still the top dog, doing over $349 million in volume over the past month. Magic Eden climbing up the ranks right behind OpenSea, doing about 121 million in sales volume over the last 30 days. And then we see behind is X2Y2, Blocktobe, and Immutable X. And if we go back to seeing what the OpenSea or just general NFT volume is, OpenSea being the largest player, we can see that the highest sales volume month was in January of 2022. Just like when you think about the stock market, the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022, everything was at selling at their all-time highs. And now you see for the past month of September, it has gone all the way down to just under 350 million when it was at over 4.8 billion in January of 2022. So that's over a 90% drop when you consider the sales volume that was happening on OpenSea. So everything is being affected by what's going on in the global and national economic landscape. So we need to make sure that we continue to keep an eye out. And you are welcome to please stay tuned to us here at Networkchain. We're going to try to bring you as much information as possible so we can all make the most prudent and diligent decisions possible when we try to make investment decisions. We're trying to grow. We hope that you grow. In the meantime, take care. We look forward to linking up with you soon on the Networkchain. Bye bye.